So, we are red. Okay, so what exactly did Fire Shooter go over with you guys when he was here? First.
Just kind of over some positioning stuff
Okay.
slash
So did you guys come out here
coordination.
with a? Did you guys have a like a area that you wanted to come out onto this map with? Like let's say you're in spawn. What would you guys talk about while in spawn here right before entering the fight?
Uh,
I remember mentioning not going over the bridge because in case there's a Lucio,
Okay.
and they didn't want to be booped off.
Okay.
yeah.
That's understandable. The reason people need to make decisions on these kinds of maps, or mainly lane kind of maps like this, like left, where you get the decision to go like left or right, or in some cases over, is due to what type of comp you're playing. And you guys can kind of play either wave. You could play left side because you guys have that. Sigma has that range. Torb has that range. Torb's turret would get a lot of value on this left side. But you could also play this right side because this gives a nice little funnel for Junkrat. It really just depends on who you think is the who you think plays this map stronger. Your out of your DPS line, and that's how you normally would make your decision. So based on the comp really is where you want to choose it, and it's not just on this map, it's on every other point, like forget, oh, this is the bottom, yeah, control center up there, and then night market down there. That just kind of determines, oh, do we want to take point instantly, or do we want to play a little outside, but we'll go over those when we get there. So here I do remember you guys going inside, which is fine, because right now you guys need to recognize, okay, right now you guys should be looking to play this white room for a little bit, till and trying to keep your range and playing for your range. Torb, you are here, yes. Yeah, Torb, you could probably look to be a little bit more aggressive and play an off angle here, because the entire other team went across the bridge instead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could look to set up turret. Maybe it'll get picked off instantly, maybe not. It's kind of 50-50 there, but you could still, with Torb's extended hitbox of the season, or this current patch of the season, you could probably get some decent hits and maybe even a decent 2-tap on maybe this BAP or maybe this Sojourn. And then Junk and Sig could just continue to spam down main because they're playing a very odd comp. So they also you want to look at what the enemy is playing, seeing, okay, do they want to play close, do they want to play long? But that's not really what you guys need to worry about, because you guys need to worry about yourselves right now. Okay. Why do we think this is a... What do we think about this turret spot, Torp?
I just thought if I could put it in the corner, I could get an angle towards the right side because I saw the Orion going that way
Okay.
and saw some movement behind him. And I
Okay.
figured if we're pushing onto point, then the turret could stay behind and shoot
Okay.
while they're focusing on us.
Okay. Was this communicated that we wanted to be aggressive and take point? That we wanted to aggressively take point here?
I don't
No.
remember. It was a couple days ago.
Okay. Because if yes, this is a fine plan as long as the team is all on top of it and like ready. Okay, we're all gonna push. We're all gonna walk point, with Sig Shield or with Sigma in front. This is fine. Because there's a lot of different ways to hold. It just depends on how we communicate what we want to do. So Torb, if you like that plan, communicate with your team. Okay, we're gonna go even in spawn. Communicate with your team. We're gonna go right side here. I'm gonna turret around white room, and then we're just gonna walk. We're just gonna use turret as kind of background support fire. Then we're gonna walk forward using Sig Shield, Sig Vortex, Sig Rock, Sig whatever, using our tanks util, and applying a lot of frontal pressure. Okay. What do we think of that fight? Because this is where the first real death happens. What do we think?
Not good.
Well, yes, not good. But how do we feel about just how we held in this room for about, like, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds? About 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Game volume is loud. Because okay, here, let me explain how a poke plus spam comp works now that we're in VC together and not over a Discord message chat. Basically, when I was messaging that, I was not completely under the impression of how well you guys understand the Overwatch comp system. Or, and by comp I don't mean competitive, I mean compositions. So with poke, you want to, yes, it's fine to be playing a lot of frontal pressure, but the way you guys are looking to hold right now is more of a brawl-ish kind of style than a poke kind of style. So with poke, what would have been a little bit stronger is if you guys initially, like we did with the Torbjorn plan, that would have been fine. If you guys began to just take and hold here, where this Ryan is currently playing, and then we'd have like Junk, and then Junk watching this left side, and Torb watching this right side, while Sig watches either either side that needs more control. And that involves controlling multiple strong angles at the same time. And that's the main premise of a poke comp, controlling multiple angles, multiple strong angles from a safer distance, utilizing our tank's resources and our own resources to keep ourselves alive. So, like, let's say we were playing a little different. Let's say completely ignore everyone's positioning. The best way for a poke comp to probably look to be playing this is maybe send the Torbs and Sigma and maybe a support over here, and then maybe send the Moira and Junkrat across here. So now they can slowly start to peek this corner, pressure out this Sojourn pocket, and then now they have a back angle on point. They have a separate angle on point, or do it over here and get this angle on point. Playing another strong angle with a little bit of aggression because they have that Moira pocket, allowing for something like that. You guys understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't all, like, if we want to play together, we're better off playing a little bit more brawly, or of a brawl, but due to all of your characters' character pools, I think you guys could have a very strong and annoying spam poke comp, because no one likes facing a Junkrat Torbjorn. We are not going to Torb 1v1 for point either. We will not be doing that, unless they agree, but that's up to you. But I think you guys could definitely come in with a strong standing. Unfortunately, we don't have the map pool. But you guys need to start in next time. When can you guys scrim again? Can we do Friday again? Is that something you guys think is possible?
Yeah, I'm good on Friday.
Friday?
Works for me.
Okay. Because if you guys can get, I'm not sure about 6. I'll also try to. Well, I could actually probably make this team a little stronger. Because if you guys were rolling, the Genji could have been someone else. But yeah, I could look to set up another scrim for you guys on Friday, and then we get another one, and then maybe we try to go for 2 next week. But basically in that scrim, I want you guys to be working towards finding those positions that are strong while also holding multiple angles. Like, this is an important area because you could see the enemy, but it's not like you're standing here. You're not standing here. Yes, you could see the enemy here, but you're just surrounded by the enemy. Versus like playing something like over here, where you have cover to retreat to, playing around this wall, playing around these rocks, wherever you think that is a stronger angle. Like, I guess minimize your risk while maximizing your damage output. Does that make? I think that's probably a pretty decent way of putting that. How do comms sound for you guys?
I think they sounded good.
Okay.
I think they got better as the games went on too.
Okay. Do you guys communicate a target?
I try to.
Try to, okay. Who do you know? Who do we have? Does it kind of get like a little over-commed here? Like, let's say Torb's calling a target and the Sig's calling a target? Or, like, do we, like, get multiple targets in the middle of a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One way to fix that, or to deal with that, is to kind of nominate a player to do that. A lot of teams do it to the tank, which is fine. In spam comps, it doesn't necessarily need to be the tank. It could be really whoever you want. Who do you guys think is, like, I guess, a dominant comm? Should be a dominant comm out of you 5 or 4 here. Steven, that's the Torbjorn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Then going forward, Torb, or at least in the next scrim, I want you guys to, yes, you could listen to other people's comms, but if it's a target call, if Torb's up, That's the target I want. The Sigma, I want the Junkrat, and I want not as much the supports, because supports you guys have your own jobs. More or less just try to keep the team up, but try to look at what that Torbjorn's looking at. Not from the same angle either. Like, let's say Torb's calling BAP here, and Sig's here. I'd rather the Junkrat be maybe. I don't know. This is not a good map for my examples, but I'd rather the Junkrat being on some like off angle. There's no real safe off angle, unfortunately, except for like here, or if they were on the plan point. But better map. There are better maps for this. But I want the Junkrat on some form of off angle. But yeah, other than that, do you guys ult track? Is my next question.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, not. I don't
Not
always
really.
like communicate it, but I always keep track in my mind, like,
Oh,
oh, they
okay.
use this. Oh, this is coming up.
Okay. So basically consistency then is what we need to work on for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know about the accuracy because obviously I wasn't there. I could try to be there for Friday, which is maybe. I can't give a yes or no right now. But if we could start working on that consistency, then that's the Legion, right? You're talking. Lifeweaver? Or is that someone else? I don't know your voices except for.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, the Torbjorn does the ult tracking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do we like that? Are we fine with ult tracking? I'm not against it. Just more of a general question. Because a lot of teams nominate it to a support.
That would be fine by me.
If
Interesting.
if we swapped it to a support, or
Yeah.
okay. Does Lightbulb or Legion think they could take that over?
I'll do it.
Okay. Have you ever done this or done that task before?
No, but honestly, I kind of feel like based on my general game sense of other games, I can kind of tell based off of their positioning, like if they're setting up for something.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
it's not even
so it
just
may not.
setting up for something. It's more or less how ult tracking should be viewed is besides like leaving the door at 0-0, exiting start of the round exit. After a team wipe on either side, like whether or not you guys win the fight or whether or not the other team wins the fight, in between that fight, the first communication that the team needs to be having is ult tracking.
Okay.
So pretty much, and when I say ult tracking, it's what ults do they have online or are close to. Like, let's say, even like right now, it's a pretty decent example because we're in between fights. Maybe a couple seconds, even a couple seconds prior, we'd be trying to recognize. Okay, Ryan has ult, Socha has OC. They have Mercy ult, and probably Close Blade, and that's about it. You don't need to mention BAP at all because they don't really have BAP up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just do that in between each fight. And don't worry about the accuracy right now, because yes, it's important on the accuracy, but when you're first learning how to do it, you can't really. It's
Right.
not always going to be accurate. And I'm sure Torb, you also understand that. And Torb, if she's messing up, most important part is if you don't know, ask your team. Like if you don't know if you saw something come out, like let's say they did actually Valk, because Valk's actually very. I almost never hear the voice line. I more or less have to look for the visual. And if you didn't see it or hear it, and you don't know, just ask. Did they Valk? Did they Valk? And someone will be able to confirm for you, yes or no. And you do the same with other ults as well.
Got it.
Yeah, and then just try to work on that consistency. What else communication wise? Yeah, so we got target calling. That. How do we plan? Do we plan? Do we plan fights or no?
Occasionally.
Occasionally, okay. Is that when we have ults, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. That's the basics of it. It's the basics of it. Because, yeah, you can neutral plan, which is neither team has ults, or plan on using ults. But you could also plan for using ults. So what kind of ult plans do we have with, let's say we're running this comp. This is the comp that we want to bring to AC. What ult combos do we have with this comp?
No good ones.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great ult
Yeah.
combos. Maybe really just Torbjorn and Sigma,
It's
right?
like alternating, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't
That's also fine. It's fine if you don't have
Yeah.
ult combos, because the comp it doesn't always have you could build a comp based on combos, but it's not really necessary because that's really playing around abilities. I mean ults, and that's not the best. Because like if we look at what Iona runs, we run what a Genji, Sojourn, Doomfist. None of those really combo together, except for unless we want to like use our Lucio or Moira Coalescence, which I guess is probably a little bit closer than what you guys. But you don't have a horrible combo. You guys have Doom, not Doom, Sigma and Torbjorn, which is really the only combo you guys have. But other than that, more or less, you could look to plan. Okay, I want to junk look for an early tire this fight. Okay. We know what early tire means, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The junk goes in for that early tire. And then just kind of say, just try to get one pick. Don't look for something crazy like a big 4K or a big 3K. Just try to get one big pick on anyone that is. Just try to guarantee that one kill so that we can go into this fight at a 5v4. And that's already an advantage, and that's a good use of the ult because it guaranteed a kill. And that's kind of not as much the same with Torbjorn, but we can kind of look at the same with a little bit with Sigma too. Try to guarantee that one good person, pick that one person up, and then try to guarantee the pick on that person. But Sigma ult is very interesting because it can be used for a lot of things, which I could go over more with you individually, Dominator, as to how good Sigma ult actually is. And Torb, I trust that you understand that your ult is not really for kills, but more for map control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like if tank dies, I can kind of use it as a zoning tool and
yeah, to like
turn by time.
either split them up like splitting, I guess, this lane that I'm kind of nodding up and down at. Like just trying to split splitting them, or denying an exit if the fight was a little bit more aggressive, than just putting it back here so they can't really go back over bridge, and forcing them into areas, or just doing it on point. Because if the fight's just hectic on point, just do it on point. Get that little extra poke damage, and then support ult's obviously a tree for. Tree is another good ult that you guys could look to do pre-fight, or as prior to the fight. Okay, we're gonna early tree here and then fight on point. Fight on tree. Coalescence could be used, another early ult, but also more of a panic ult, kind of to save the team. You guys have a lot of planning that you guys can look to do with your util and ults. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Let's get back into the VOD. Sorry if you hear background noise.
That's fine.
I'll slow it down because I'm not sure if you guys can watch 2x speed.
Oh, I'm used to it.
Oh, okay. This is good. Yeah, the target focus right there should have been the Reinhardt. Especially if I know the junk's not here, but if the junk is here, if junk gets a good trap like that, they need to communicate. And if they don't know where or who, you guys need to communicate. Okay, we got tank and trap on ping. Make sure that we're also utilizing pings and informational calls. Don't just say over here, over there. Say on point. Say to the left of point. Say in the little. I don't know every call. Say in the left side house. Say white room, because this is referred to as white room. In control center, there's black room, white room. On point, top left. Be useful with your positional calls and not just make them. Don't just communicate like I don't know. Just be useful with your information, because we don't want to clutter comms. Okay. We see that they're rotating over here. How should we set up? Where should we all be?
We should get someone on the off angle to the left, and the others.
So like have someone play here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like right there, and then tank and a couple others on the other side facing them.
That's fine. Let's actually go individually. Dom, where do you think you should be first off, tank? Since you're tank, where do you think you should be?
I was thinking like well, the bridge where they're gonna go, like, but inside the point.
Mm-hmm. Right around here.
Yeah, right, like right around there.
Okay. And then Junkbot's not here. We'll go with Torb. Where do you think it should be?
I should probably either place my turret on that off angle or just be on that off angle.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Light bulb.
So honestly, I was thinking maybe like kind of sort of where I am, but like more on like the side so that I can heal my team and
So-
not necessarily be in like a line of sight to take damage.
So like, it's like I guess here, right? Maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. And Life Weaver, how about you?
Probably be like off angle with one of the DPS to support them or the tank up front. Not like directly with them, but like kind of back.
Yeah, just trying to. Yeah, you don't really know exactly because you gotta determine on how the fight is going and like who do you think needs to support more, right? Which is kind of how both of you should be viewing it. Like, yes, we want a support with a tank, which in how based on how Lightbulb positioned herself is kind of her. But now you, since you see that Moira is positioning with the tank, you could maybe hold this off angle with the Torbjorn if he's going to be doing this. Poking a little bit. Torb takes a little bit of damage. Heal him up. Poke a little bit more. Something like that. Play a little bit of like a 3-2 split. But yeah, yeah. I understand. Or do you understand? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we want like Junk obviously playing his angles maybe a little bit back here. Keep his distance a little bit. Because he doesn't need to be up here with the Sigma. And then just basically just spam it over onto point or into White Room. Yeah, and this isn't horrible. We got Dom. You're in the right spot. Dom, just remember to play play your corners. Because yes, you have health, but a corner, you don't want to just take extra damage or unnecessary damage for no reason. Yep. Supports maybe just spread out a little bit more. If Weaver's gonna play here, then yeah, maybe you rotate over to here and just play and keep him up. No, we have Junk Tire here, and then yes, Torb's in a decent spot too. This is all fine. It's a good tree. Yep. I like that you guys are trying to follow up on these kills. Nice. Now, yep, reset. There we go. Do we like being all on point?
Nah.
No? Okay. Where do we think we should be instead? Because we are able to watch them, if we go back even... Yeah, like here. Like, you guys see, yeah, they're just waiting. Okay, how do we want to set up? How do we want to set up? Because that is important. It's something that Iona's still working on as well, working on our setup. Because it's not going to be the same as you guys, so I'm not going to go over how we do that. But how do you guys want to set up is different. Because if we see, okay, they're going to go bridge. Sigma, come hold here. Maybe play around rock a little bit. And try to pressure them back, because they have to be close and be ready to kite. We do know what kite means, right? Just making sure.
Yeah, like
back up. Yeah.
making them go places. Yeah.
Yeah, just disengage. So yeah, just play up here. Play for rock. Maybe get a rock off the map, and try to keep them back, and then just play until you need to kite. And then maybe we could have a Torb playing around his turret here, because turret's in honestly a pretty decent spot. Torb could be poking from here, poking and playing around these doorways, and then Junk could be maybe playing around here. And now see, we have 3 different angles. Can you guys see my mouse?
No.
Oh well. But yeah, we have multiple different angles if we were able to view my mouse. We have one playing the close wall, we have one playing in the house, and then we have one playing on the other side of the wall. And now you guys should be able to see how we have those three angles, while also, or those three angles denying the 1 point of entry. Do we see? Kind of see that?
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's kind of the view that you guys want to see for the maps going forward on each map. Because it's not as, like, even if we skip ahead to, where are we going? Yeah, here. If we ignore the current fight going on, let's say we're here. We won the point. So how do we want to set up? Let me actually adjust this. Let me get it so we can draw, boys and female. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. You guys see the little pen thingy on the left?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just gotta. Okay. So, if we wanna go with that mindset of use the three angles, how do we want to hold? So, I know it's getting close to time, Dom. So let's get this point over before you have to go. So where would you want to be, Sigma? Rondo
I
fence.
don't.
Yeah, we just kept point. They're coming out of spawn. Where would we like to be?
I probably at that lower door.
This one?
No, like a little up.
This one?
Like that one, yeah.
Okay.
Not that far up, but like a little further back. Just in case they come around up on the high ground.
So maybe like playing this corner, right? Or
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Torbjorn?
I'd probably set my turret up like towards the right of the statue, and I'd probably play with my tank because I don't have much mobility.
Okay. And then how about you, sports? Light bulb first.
Well, where I probably should play is with my team. However, I have a terrible fear of getting C9'd, so I tend to
Okay.
stay on site a little bit.
It's not that. See, the thing is, with this, you guys should have some form of oversight on on all of the angles. So, where I think you should probably where I think would be best for the Moira to probably be playing is maybe this corner.
Noted.
And then I'll explain why all of this is good in a second. Legion, how about you?
I'd probably be with the torp turret, like behind the. Yeah, so like if someone flanks up top, I can call it out.
Yep.
And watch for it,
And then
and also be able to support.
Yeah. And then I'd say just put Junkrat in the building. We all know this little area, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then just put
Like
Junkrat
on the bottom or on top?
underneath. Because this is a flank, as we know. You could enter through here and then go here and then go here, right? And so we have the junk watching this flank, pretty much. And then utilizing that, now we are watching pretty much this little kill box. We know that little section because you have an LOS, you two have an LOS, Junk has an LOS, and Lifeweaver, you even have a minor LOS. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's good. So Moira, one thing, you are under threat of being pushed here. What do you think you should do if you do end up getting pushed?
Get the fuck out of there.
Wait, the question is how. The disengage is very important. Obviously with Fade. We'll put that out there first.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, as Moira, I would fade.
Yeah, obviously with Fade. What direction though? You have like two options.
I'd probably go towards my team.
Towards your team? So this way?
Yeah.
Right option. Good. And that's good. Because if they decide to push Junk obviously has his bombs and he should have traps set up around here. So Junk will just back up, and then you guys will rotate. You'll play there. Moira, then you become you then begin to poke here. Torb, you could also probably go in and poke here with Moira. And now the kill box has shifted a little bit to here, or to more or less this little L spot, while we have Junk maybe playing out here. Weaver, you probably just shift to here, or you just Weaver, you're really just playing the statue. And then Sig, you rotate over to here. Is the drawing a little confusing, or do you guys kind of see what I'm saying?
You can see it.
I see it.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just all about positional shifting and trying to keep our distance a little bit. We don't want to take a direct confrontation, especially against something like a brawl. But we also don't want to like be overextending ourselves so that like something like a dive can take advantage of our positioning. Because you see how we could still see each other. Torb and Moira are still together here. They could still support each other. Lifeweaver could still see them and see Junkrat and see Sigma. And then Sigma could still support these two because they just need to back up a little bit. And Sigma is supporting the Junkrat and the Lifeweaver and not able to get pressured out. This looks confusing to me. This is horrible. I get a better at drawing. But as long as you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say and can kind of make sense of it, I guess in the end, keep your distance, because you keep your distance while playing angles that support each other. Does that statement make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's how a poke / spam comp works. Because you guys don't have a lot of close range pressure. Because not a single one of your characters is really close range, I guess, except for Moira, and she even has decent range. And she shouldn't be close range because I don't want to ever see a DPS Moira off on the other side of the map. And if I see that, I don't know what I'll say.
Oh, you should have seen me last year.
Oh, okay. Don't worry, I was the commentator at AC last year, so we're chilling.
You were?
Yeah.
I played fucking Diva last year, so.
Oh. I don't really remember the matches. Except for, well, at least the early matches, like Niagara.
We just kind of knew we were gonna lose because we were against Manhattan, who was 7th. So we were like, let's kind of switch it up a little bit. I was like, I can go Diva.
Well, now you guys, let's get this win this year.
I would love to.
Yeah, let's get a win. Like, I know you guys. I don't think any of your teams really have a chance. I don't think any of Niagara's teams have a chance at winning. And unfortunately, I only have a month, so I can't make it. I can't make you guys a Mayor's winnable team yet. Because I'm not even sure. We've had an entire semester, and we just recently learned how to fucking dive properly. So.
It's okay. As long as we beat Canisius, I'll be fine.
They might not be going to land this year, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they have the budget.
I think it's because we used to share the bus together, and now we're flying instead.
Flying?
Yeah.
God damn. Okay. Honestly, I don't see a lot much more needing to, like, VOD, because, you guys kind of do roll them. Unless you guys want to see what happens in, like, these fights as to, like, why we lose. But I think maybe we just go into our next scrim with the mindset of, like, try to keep our distance while also being able to support each other. And kind of utilizing the communication things that we talked about earlier. With also the compositional things that we just talked about. And then see how that goes, maybe up against a 3.0 team. If you guys feel comfortable facing a diamond team, do you? Or no?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Maybe like a high plat team.
High plat? Okay.
Or a low plat team.
We'll try high plat.
Or just a plat team.
Because I don't even... We'll try high plat. We'll try like a 2.8. A 2.8, sure. And then see how that goes from there. If you guys end up rolling, great. If not, we'll figure it out. I don't know where Canisius ranks or whatever in the SR scale, because both teams felt the same for us, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think from
what I remember from like their profiles is like just a couple high plats, okay. And then I think others were privated.
Okay, so I think if we can get you guys to maybe like a 3.0 to a 3.2 by AC, then I think honestly you guys will have a pretty good chance. Mainly, especially on the communication, because communication is going to be just as important. You guys have to keep each other's mentals high, even when losing, even in scrims. Staying positive in a scrim versus getting negative. If you guys start getting angry at each other, and I don't know if you guys get angry at each other, that's more of a ego thing. But if you guys got to stay positive even in a losing scrim, because it's still beneficial when you lose badly, to like understand, okay, maybe we practice a little bit lower, maybe we're just having an off day. There's something to learn from even having a really good scrim versus having a really bad scrim.
Mhm.
As long as you stay positive, as long as everyone's mentals is still there. I don't know, do you guys have like bad mentals or no?
I play Valorant. Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm able to like reset, know when, like I'm self-aware.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we ever really have a problem with like being mad or anything.
Right.
Okay.
We usually just laugh stuff off, anyways.
Okay, that's good. And hopefully the Junkrat doesn't get mad because I forgot to swap the image capture for the recording, so it only for all the drawing I just did. He didn't see it. He's not gonna see it.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
So if we can kind of, as long as he can understand what I said in the positioning aspect or the positional aspect, hopefully we'll be good. Hopefully.
Alright.
Like if I don't know. There's nothing I can do. Here, I could draw it out for him and then send an image of that to coaching. I think that might also be beneficial to you guys if needed. Just so he has something to look at.
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that then. Otherwise, any last questions before we continue? Because I don't want to I don't know if Dom's even still here.
No, yeah, I have to go.
Yeah, and it's also fine. There's no point in vodding for 2 hours straight, really, or even an hour. So you're free to go pretty much, unless you guys have any last minute questions.
I have some questions, but they're more like individual, not necessarily like team questions.
Okay, I can stay after.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I have a question.
You have questions?
In
Okay.
the unlikely event that they go double flyers like a Pharah and Echo, and I can't shoot Torb's little pew pew gun
Yeah.
for anything,
Uh-huh.
what should we do?
Play to the best of your abilities. More or less, when they're running double flyers, it's obviously, like you said, in the unlikely event, it's more or less you gotta play inside. Don't play the open space that they like, because as you know, flyers would really like to play open space because it gives them the free reign to just kind of look at you guys. So you guys just really want to try to utilize the inside and the map geometry to kind of avoid the flyers as best you can, and then look maybe because in that kind of comp they're probably running a mercy, so try to find the support that's not the mercy, as well as try to find that tank. Try to pressure out that tank, because if they're running a mercy, they're only gonna have one support for the tank, obviously. So if 5 people DPS a tank, that support's not out healing them. So now they're going into a fight without a tank. Maybe you guys lost one, but they also lost their tank. Viewing it like that, it's just gonna come with a little bit of time. Obviously, the comp that you guys have, it's not great against it, but Sigma does pretty decent against flyers. Torb, as long as you could set up your turret, you guys shouldn't really have a crazy big problem. The main thing is just get the mercy off the flyers. Is the main way to view it. Because the way we run it with dive is we swap to a tracer, and then we just have him harass the non-flyers until that mercy gets off the Pharah. It's normally a Pharah. Gets off the Pharah and then swaps. And then we allow it. That allows our hit scan to do his job and takes care of the flyer for us. But really, just try to get that mercy off the flyers as best you can. Main way to pressure the tank. If we run into a situation with that, like in a scrim at some point, I think that's best. That'll be better for you guys than just me explaining, because I think an example would be a lot easier for you guys to understand versus me just talking. Okay.
Oh.
Is that it from you?
Thank you.
At least?
I think so, yes.
Okay. What about
Thank
you,
you.
Gerard, before I get to Alyssa?
I'm good. I got nothing.
Okay. Alyssa?
Okay. So I took some notes while we were playing. And so my first one is just alt when with 5 question marks. So obviously, like, we want to try to combo it, but as we mentioned, there wasn't really, like, with our comp,
Yeah.
good combos.
You don't
There
wanna-
were times when I just kind of popped it just to, like, heal the team just to kind of like get that extra push.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I don't know if I actually did it, but I'm just trying to visualize it. Like on Circuit Royale, when, you know, the payload like turns that corner to go up, and we like really need to get there, but we keep getting like killed, whatever, and we just really need that push. So like in a time like that, yeah.
It's at that point, like you said, or like we realized, you guys don't really have a comp that can do good ult combos. So it's more or less kind of just plan to use like one ult. Like let's say, okay, junk just tire early. Really the main ult that you guys could look to use is tire early and tree early. Those are the only real like fight ults that you guys can plan around. Sigma, you can for Sigma purposes, you could look to. Yes, you could look to plan. Okay, we're gonna flux graviton flux here or gravitic flux here. But he could also just use it in OT for getting people off point. He could use it to split people specifically. He could use it also to bait out other ults, which is very important, especially if you guys are like running into a Zenyatta and you guys want to get rid of that trans for tire. Well, actually no. If you want to get rid of that trans for molten core or something like that, then that's a really good use. Or baiting out specifically, it's looking to use Sigma ult to bait out support ults like Beat. Beat's going to be a big one that you guys could look to bait out because a lot of teams are going to be running Lucio. And also nowadays, maybe even we might end up seeing a lot of teams run Zen, or a couple teams run Zen. I'm not sure about Kinesis running it, but maybe.
Yeah, I meant to ask that too because I've ran into and played a fair amount of Zen, and he is very good right now.
Yeah, it's just the projectile size increase, so people are able to hit his shots more, and he is just the best DPS support. Just he was hard to use because the projectiles were hard to hit before or prior to the season start. But yeah, it's kind of a bit easy way to view it. Sigma, look to get out ults. Junkrat, look to confirm a kill. Lifeweaver, look to use right as a fight is about to start. Moira, you could use it as a fight about to start, or it's kind of more as you see fit. Like as you could say for, I guess, overclock, something like overclock. Yes, you could use it as a plan. You could plan it out, but you could also kind of just tell the player, if you see an opportunity to overclock here, do it. And that's kind of how you want to view it, view your ult as well. Just kind of do it when you think it's necessary. Like if your team's taking a lot of damage, boom, coalescence. Or if you just if you want your team to be able to be more aggressive here, because you guys think that you can win it, or if you think you can win it just by popping your ult, do it. And then for Torbjorn, it's a little complicated, as long as you already understand that it's for map control. That's like the first step, and that just comes down to, because it comes down to how is the other team holding, and is there someone I should really be looking to split off, and who is that? Kind of viewing it something like that, which comes with a little bit of time and just really kind of going into, like, I guess, quick play or comp. I don't know. If you don't care about your rank, definitely comp. If you care about your rank, fuck it, quick play. And just thinking, yeah, it's interesting. I've run into players that are both. So my professional opinion is that you should not care, though, because it is a rank that will mean nothing in 10 years from now. But yeah, just going in and seeing, okay, oh, it was successful when I split off the Ana from being able to rotate out. That was successful. I split this Rhine overextended. I'm going to split him off using Torbjorn. And that was successful. Seeing what works, trial and error, and then bringing that back into your scrims, bringing that back into your matches. That make sense?
Gotcha. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hopping into a game right now.
Yeah, and then tree is really
starts now.
You guys really just want to say, okay, let's just tree this fight. Panic treeing is also a thing, but or panic treeing as in like using it like mid fight treeing. It's fine. I think it's probably a bit better to just plan around using tree for at the start of a fight though, to give you guys that little boost of health or of healing. I think that might just be the better option.
Right.
That's for those ults, and then you could correlate some of those with some of those ult mindsets into other characters as well. But what's next?
Okay. A next note. Bro, I feel like I get overheated and keep going to do damage and don't know when I should be healing my team.
Oof. That is very individual.
Yes.
It's just you got to break the DPS mindset, and it really comes with. One way I've found that works on a couple of other people when they're like over aggressive is try to be over passive or like super passive and purely play with the team. Only play with the team, only heal, just like you don't have to, but like use the mindset of just like unbind that damage button. I know it's very necessary because you regain healing from
From damage, yeah.
from doing damage, but try to only do damage just to do that. Don't continually do damage. And by
Okay.
that, you could probably look at it by playing that little pocket aspect, like playing a little pocket Moira, just sitting with someone that's like being a little aggressive, go up, help them, and that'll also help you when it comes back, because that's how you should be looking to play in your scrims and matches, being a little pocket for either the junk or Torb that's whoever's taking the off angle or something like that. So it just really try to be more passive than you think you need to be. And then it'll kind of correlate, and you'll recognize, okay, I could be aggressive here, and then you'll also start to recognize the situations where I did good, I was passive, I didn't get myself killed, I didn't get my team killed because I was healing instead of doing damage.
Right.
It comes with time, but yeah, you just really gotta just over exaggerate the skill that you struggle with.
Okay. Yeah, and that kind of answers another point that I had, because on specifically Route 66, there were times when we were pushing the payload and we got past the first checkpoint, and you know how there's like that little building that you can go through, but then like most of the teams were fighting like somewhere up top on the bridge, and then our team around the payload. Sometimes I would go into the building, go around, do some damage, and then leave.
There's no point in doing some damage. There's no
Okay.
unless you're really trying, unless you're like that close to like ultimate, and you guys plan on using coalescence next fight, and you're just like, okay, let me go farm some damage real quick just so I can get the little like extra 3 or 4% that you can get. There's no real point. Because yeah, it's nice to do with that extra damage, but they're just gonna fucking heal it unless you can guarantee that kill. They're just gonna fucking heal it, so it's kind of pointless. Outside of ult charge, which as a support, unless you're really close, you don't really need it.
Okay. Yeah, because there were sometimes on, oh god, I don't know what map that's called. It's New Junk City, but the opposite.
Junkertown?
No.
Oh,
It's the
the other
same.
Flash part, Suarvasa.
Yeah, that one. Like there were times when we were like on point, we were good, we were like really close to getting the point, like a high percentage, like 70, 80 some. And then I would kind of like go to like the side. I'd see one, either they'd be low or I was able to just do enough damage to kill them, and then I would just go back.
Yeah.
They were also kind of, from the ones that I've noticed, most of the time, if like I were able to get the kill, they were already split off from their team.
And that's bad on them a lot of the times. So more or less, if you do see someone that's killable, if Steven doesn't already have a target in being called for the team, tell Steven, we gotta this character split. Like let's say it's Sojourn split on the left side. just communicate with your team. Oh, we have this character person on the left, or this person on the left side, or wherever they are. This person's split specifically. This person is not able to get back to their team in time for us to kill them. And that might think, okay, Steven would be thinking, I don't already have a target. We don't already have a target. So let's just turn on the Sojourn, turn on whoever it is. Get them out of the fight is because they're being overly aggressive or they're overextending and getting themselves picked off. Does that make sense? I think.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to go for the kill, but if you can communicate with your team that the player is there, so that they know, and maybe your team decides to, okay, that's our target right now.
Okay. Cool. Okay. We spoke about positioning. One thing before like someone told me to do as Moira is to try to play where I can use her heal orb in a way that it will kind of like bounce between walls, so it just doesn't kind of fly everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's yeah, it's just kind of again situational. If your team would maximize, if you can maximize the healing, or if you need to maximize the healing, do that of the orb. Like get so the entire orb is used. But sometimes the orb is also just used as get a little bit of healing in. Obviously, try to maximize how much healing you can do, but that's not always going to happen. You're not always going to be able to bounce it that well.
Right.
Obviously, knowing a little bit of geometry, so maybe you get a bounce so it can do a little bit of bonus healing, is obviously nice. It's also viewed the same for damage, though. If you can maximize the damage of the orb, great. If you can't, not the end of the world. It's not that bad.
Okay. Okay. And then lastly, my dashes.
Fades.
I feel like they're not very properly used. Um,
Don't do them to engage. Do not engage with dash or fade. Do not engage. It's a lot of single movement or single movement util like that. Like like again, good example is Sojourn. Like Sojourn slide. If you're playing Sojourn, slide out. Only use it to slide out. Almost never use it to slide in. It's very rare where you should need to slide in. So use it the same with fade. Fade out. Use it as your disengage option, as your getaway, as your escape from the fight. So for
Okay.
starters, go in with that mindset, and then next, don't just don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere, I guess. You always kind of be thinking, okay, I can fade out to my team here. If your team's not in a great spot, know where health packs are. Try to fade to a health pack instead.
Okay.
Also, don't be afraid to self orb. If you need to self orb, that's perfectly fine too. You don't need to save it for the team. You could self orb. It's honestly probably more beneficial to self orb, so that then you could also use your healing on the rest of the team. If you do.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that was all for me.
Okay. Then I will try to set something up for Friday.
Awesome.
Hopefully we could have your drunk rat, and hopefully I won't need to get mine to fill. Well, my support to fill, but he loves drunk rat, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise I'll end the recording, and then